Hello and welcome to Comic Book Wars episode 27. I believe it's 27. I think we have the numbering wrong. I could be wrong. Everybody could be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm Jimmy Linguini of comicbookspeculation.com. This is a comicbookspeculation.com podcast, obviously. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Sleepy John. He's never wrong. Never been wrong before. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
Jesus Christ. I'm Nico, your weekend update correspondent with comicbookspeculation.com. It's good to be here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I look forward to Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, good day. Tuesday, good day.
That's cool. I'm excited for you. We have a great show planned so far. As I don't know if you know this, but what do we have on the slideshow? What was the first thing I had ready to go?
Fired up. Loading.
Is this seriously happening right now?
What is that?
Wow. I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves. You guys watched Watchmen this week, right?
Jesus, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
What do
You ready?
think of that? Yeah.
All right. Watchmen episode 3 was phenomenal. John, did you get a chance to watch it?
I don't think
I
we've
did
talked
not,
about
no.
any of it. I don't think we've talked about any of the episodes.
All right. So the first 2 episodes were kind of slow. Basically, the series is set 30 years into the future, and it only
30 years into the future of Watchmen, correct?
the graphic novel. It tangentially tracks the original characters, but they're not the main focus of the plot. The plot centers around the new police force, and
Yeah,
at least
okay.
for
I
the
don't
first 2
want you to
episodes.
spoil the entire plot. What do you think of the show?
I thought the first 2 shows were good. Lots of kind of like breadcrumbs that they left, but episode 3 was spectacular. It was one of the best shows.
What happened in episode 3 that didn't happen in the other episodes? I've watched all of them. I've read the book numerous times. I think the show is terrible.
Well,
nobody asked for this.
Yeah, I don't think you watched episode 3.
No, I did. Well, you keep saying that.
What's the joke?
She tells some stupid joke, and it's not even funny. It's just it goes on forever. What's the joke? And then they throw the card down. You act like, of course I've watched it. It's shit.
You actually watched the episode. Yeah, then you just have poor taste.
You said this the other day, and it's like, no, it's not poor taste. It has nothing to do with Watchmen. It's like nobody asked for this.
You're like one of those people.
Literally, nobody asked for this. Nobody
immature critique of it's not
my
like
immature
source material.
This is what you said to me before. You said, "Oh, it's because they're adding all this race stuff." The race stuff is the only good stuff in it, and everything else is trash. Like there's nobody asked for this. It's boring, lame, and I hate it. And I love Watchmen. And Rorschach is a white supremacist now, so it's terrible. It's a terrible series.
He always had undertones.
That's not even accurate.
Do I understand it that like people can take source material and then be like, oh yeah, like for example, like Rorschach's journal, and then take it in a tune of this white supremacy thing? Sure. I don't think it needs to. Like, there's no reason for this, and it just seems terrible in my opinion. So I don't know.
So you're more upset. I'm more upset
about it because
DC
I wanted
is still profiting off of Alan Moore.
No, I'm upset because I wanted to watch him in
stop
TV
making
series.
it.
I didn't want like some kind of whatever the fuck this is, and it's terrible. So whatever. I don't think anybody asked for this, and that's
okay.
I'm watching it, and HBO makes great shows, so it will get better. But I don't know,
Jimmy. Your critique is as adorable as you are. I, however, will defer to the rest of the community, and I think we will have uniform praise for the show. I imagine that episode 3 will win a fucking Emmy. It's a win. If you're not watching it, stick around till episode 3 before you make a decision. I do not sit at home and watch Rambo Part 3 on Rewind.
No, but like,
or fucking Jaws 2 or any of the other like trash movies that you glorify.
No, I want to know how it could win an Emmy. How is
Did you watch The Fanatic, George?
Yeah, did you watch The Fanatic, George?
for example, I did not. But different people have different tastes. I would say that yours is eclectic at best. But that we will
George,
see a
Nico,
number of
George.
yeah.
I don't know what name you're going with today, but I'm offended by all of this.
You can call me the Godfather.
Mr. Godfather, thank you for your critique of the Watchmen.
Yeah, I do what I can. We'll be talking ad nauseum on the weekend update about some of the spec associated
Will
with.
we?
I will, and when I
Oh.
say we, I mean unless you want me to write for somebody else, we will.
I just like talking shit to you. It's fun.
Yeah, you're not
Listen,
good at it,
Watchmen's
but I feel
terrible.
like you could get better.
So you'll figure it out. One day you'll figure out that Watchmen's terrible. I mean, I don't know when you will, but I'm hoping you will, because I mean, I can't. I don't know, man.
What was this video that you were gonna play us?
I don't know, man. It's very. I mean,
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Talk about technical difficulties. Jesus Lord.
no, we are not having any technical difficulties. Why would we?
Oh, is that a green screen? Should I dance around? You're gonna put some kind of weird graphics over top of my body?
You know what? Like every week we outdo ourselves with having a worse show.
Yeah, I enjoy all of our shows for
Okay.
different reasons.
I don't have control over that.
Yeah, let's talk about what's on the outline.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna start from the bottom as opposed to things that need graphics.
Oh. Well,
Oh, look at this. What is going on?
Started from the bottom, now he's here.
Yeah.
This week, Spiderverse seems to came out. I don't know. Now I'm all flustered. I don't know. You guys like laughing at me. And,
Full screen, buddy. Click on the picture.
Oh boy.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you guys.
Nico is giving you technical assistance here.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
So, anyway,
this is amazing.
This week,
Walmart put out some new books.
Well, yeah. Over the last few days, I think the talk of the town seems to be that Walmart put out a new 3-pack. The last one that seemed to be all the rage was the Captain Marvel one that had the Archerum variant. This one is for Spiderverse, and it has an all new cover for it. The signifier for this one is, of course, that on the cover is this new character, Spider-Zero, who appears in Spider-Verse 1. Now, again, this book is a reprint of the book that came out on October 4th of this year. So it's not a first print, but it's the first cover appearance.
I don't know. Has that ever been determined? Because from what I was reading some places, people are saying these were probably all made at the same time. It just takes a little bit more time for them to get packaged and put out to Walmart.
It's possible, but I wouldn't consider it a first print.
I don't. It came out later.
Let me ask you this.
Usually that's the determination.
I have a serious question.
Okay.
Do you guys really give a fuck about this book?
Well, no, but it's a book that's $5.99 at Walmart, and it seems to be selling for $20 to $25.
Really?
Do I think Spider-Zero is anything? Not particularly, but it's a new character. It's a Spider-Verse spec that it seems to be very in right now in the speculation world. So the number one was released on October 2nd, so this is probably a reprint variant, and it's the first cover appearance of Spider-Zero. But again, if you want to spec on Spider-Zero, then wouldn't you just buy Spider-Verse 1 because that's her first appearance? I don't know. That's up to you, I guess. But,
this is like a variant, basically, is the way people look at them as those Walmarts.
And I mean, when you think about it, who asked for these Walmart variants? No one.
I got a couple people on the list who are real happy about Walmart putting comics out, but
there seems to be a lot of stores that are upset. But it is what it is.
Irate.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really seem to make sense for DC or Marvel or any of these big publishers to.
They treat they treat retailers fucking great, dude. It's like they're franchisees that have diamond franchises that get none of the benefits and all of the burdens of having no returnability. I mean, cute. And now they give the largest single distributor of
largest
commercial
retailer in the country.
Yeah, they give them exclusive books. I
variants.
mean,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, it's garbage.
Yeah. So
I
next
love how
up
there's
was
like messages that say go full screen. If you couldn't tell, I was having technical difficulties with the first few images wouldn't load. For whatever reason, this image that Sleepy John sent me of Soldier Boy um, did load. Now again, I don't know why he sent me this image, and I would love to know why.
I
So
think you know exactly why this image was sent.
Flavor Flav.
It's
Does
Soldier
look
Boy,
like
not Flavor
Oh.
Flav. If I go to the, it's Crank
I have
That. Anyways,
cross-racial identification issues.
if I go to the next one, will that explain why I'm looking at
Yeah,
this image?
absolutely. He was no, not that one.
No.
No. Soldier Boy was cast
Was in The
for
Boys.
The Boys season 2. Not
Oh,
this guy. There's a character called Soldier Boy. But
Oh,
when I saw the name Soldier
Oh.
Boy, it made me think of this guy.
oh, I wish I had known that. 'Cause
Superman.
I took
Superman.
I took that out because we had already talked about that. I think like 2 weeks ago when
Yeah.
a friend of mine was
A
on
little bit longer than
was
that.
on set, and yeah, he was there today too, and they gave him a free poster, and I asked him, "Oh, can you send me a picture of that poster? That would be great to show all these guys." But he said he was busy, but apparently he was at set, and they just gave him a free poster. So I'm not
Well,
sure
wasn't-
what that means.
A couple weeks ago, didn't your insider tell you that Herogasm was confirmed?
Yeah, well, the characters who are in Herogasm, which so Soldier Boy,
Oh, okay.
and that lady, whose name I can't remember, but yeah, Herogasm's her first appearance. Okay, well that's
Oh.
cool. Now I at least know about Soldier Boy. What's going on here, John?
So I wrote an article for comicbookspeculation.com that outlined what's been going on with some of the Into the Spider-Verse 2 movie news and some nuggets that have been dropped. So the latest thing is that Phil Lord, who is one of the executive producers of the movie and has a big contract with Sony now for a lot of Spider-Verse and Spider-Man related stuff, he's been kind of going all in on this Japanese Spider-Man. He's released, he retweeted an image of the Leopardon, who I don't know if that's exactly how you say his name. He's the suit that Japanese Spider-Man wears when he's got a bracelet that when he hits it, it puts this suit around him, and he's like a what do I want to call this? Like a transformer kind of suit. It's a mecha suit, so it's more along the anime lines of a character. So he's retweeted this image of some fan art.
I think they're called Gundam suits, right, or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. That's a good way to put it. There was also the Spider-Man logo that you can see in the background. A lot of people are saying it's probably Japanese Spider-Man. So the origin of him was he was licensed to Japan to make a TV show in the late 70s. And it was kind of like it's become one of those cult classics along with Italian Spider-Man because they're so different from American culture. They just seem real crazy. But he didn't appear in Marvel Comics until this Amazing Spider-Man number 12, which is volume 3, which is the reboot that has first appearance of Silk. So this was during a Spider-Verse arc. So most of it is during a Spider-Verse story, which you have all of these characters from different universes coming together, as we know. Delato did these awesome connecting covers for this story arc, which are pretty
Not worth
amazing.
shit.
Yeah, they're all 1 in 25s.
Not worth shit. Not easy to find though.
They're not easy to find. You can get them on eBay though. But they are. I think
I have 2 sets of them, just because
yeah,
they're
I think
awesome.
they're pretty cheap.
Yeah, I grabbed a regular cover
about
today
$20.
for $10. So
Nice.
And
Canadian. So
the reason the reason I put this image together was because I was kind of surprised that the Leopardon was not on this cover at all. They have all these alternate Spider-Verse, even the Baghead Spider-Man. You familiar with that one? I think he appeared in a Fantastic Four.
Baghead Spider-Man.
No, he was in
Know who
Amazing.
you're talking about. Yeah.
He was in Recently, I think they made a Marvel Legends figure of him or something. But his first appearance was in an Amazing Spider-Man issue in the '80s, I believe. So like it just seemed kind of weird that he first appeared in that number 12, and they didn't have him on that Delato cover. So where we're going with that is he most likely will be in the next Spiderverse movie, which doesn't come out till
2022.
2022. So it's like 18 months still. So you got plenty of time to load up on it if that's
I
kind
did.
of
I
your
did
deal.
see a bunch of people asking for copies this morning.
Yeah.
So I think the word is out.
I
But
saw the website.
yeah, somebody saw the website.
Yeah. Somebody saw the website. Nick, if you want to work together, just hit me up. We can work together. We don't have to compete. We can all share the same information.
Sometimes I wonder if I spelled Wednesday correctly. I'm not sure. But this is the Wednesday Warrior Guide for November 6th. Uh, this week doesn't seem very intuitive. Hey, you there, Nico?
I am. I'm sorry. I'm just getting
What do you
work
think about the
calls.
Wednesday Warrior stuff?
Well, let's talk about Undiscovered Country. I would have to
I just
go
want to know what you
to.
thought about, like, if there was anything cool this week that you thought was cool.
I mean, I bought both of the X titles. There's connecting covers for X Force and New Mutants that I think is,
But I mean, like, is there really anything noteworthy that comes out this week?
I mean, am I going to go buy 20 copies of Undiscovered Country 1? Of course not. Do I have an opportunity to grab any sort of like ratio variants from my LCSs? God forbid. Did I pre-order them from one of the spots that you can do that? No. Yeah, as usual, nothing on my end. I am not a Wednesday Warrior kind of guy. I
Well, yeah,
do
like,
go back and buy new books later. I mean, I still collect modern comics, but
I mean, this week
it's usually on Wednesday I buy Should I Read.
seems kind of light for the Wednesday Warriors, but of course, Undiscovered Country 1 comes out this week. It's lined up to be it's been optioned by New Republic Pictures, and they're saying that it's going to be a film franchise. I don't know. I pre-ordered 10 copies because I'm a complete moron.
Oh,
Because I
interesting.
don't think there's any reason to buy the regular covers. And I completely forgot that I did until I went to a store today, and they're like, "Hey, your books came in." I'm like, "What are you talking about? My books came in." They also said I ordered. They also said, "Oh, we have 10 copies of Venom 19." I'm like, "There's no way I ordered Venom 19." Then I look at my text, and it's like, there it is. But yeah,
Oh.
I think if you're gonna spec on this book, there's only really 3 books you should look for, not the regular cover. This one is the ash can. You can't see it because for whatever reason this thing cut it off on me. But this is the ash can variant. It seems to be it's the first appearance. It came out a few months ago, right when it was announced that this was going to be a option. The other variant is the New York Comic Con 2 variants. There's a foil and then there's a black and white. Those came out before this regular edition one, so I mean those would also be books I would go for before the regular edition one. But who knows? The other book that I really liked was this Immortal Hulk 24 second printing because it's an Alex Ross pencil sketch cover. And yeah, so I like that one.
That one is pretty sweet.
I mean,
I
I don't
do
know if it's
like
going to
that.
go anywhere.
No, it's
But
gorgeous.
how many?
Is that a ratio?
No, it's a second print.
Well,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
They should have made that the 1 in 25 second print instead
right.
of those
my
dumb
God.
separating head covers.
I was just really surprised that they even did this. But I don't know. I mean, if pencil sketches for Alex Ross would really be the way to go, in my opinion. The other book is this Yondo 1. It's a 1 in 50 hidden variant. The story's leaked about it. It's a different Yondo than the one that appears in Guardians 3000. So it's a different
Yondu. Why you keep saying
Yondu?
Yondu?
Yondu. What is his name?
Yeah, Yondu.
Yondu, whatever, man.
Yeah.
But also in this book, it's the death of the character that Sean Gunn plays in the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Oh.
His name starts with K, I think, right? Like Kraken or something. I can't remember off the top of my
I
head.
didn't know that he was ever in the comics before.
Well, yeah, he's a leader of the Ravengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he dies, and then Yondu has to figure it all out or something. There's some nonsense. But I don't know how many stores ordered 50 copies of this. And this book, there's a few sales around 60 to $80. I don't know where it's at now, but I just like the cover because again, it's
Is
just
he-
one of those nice covers.
Does he become Mary Poppins in this issue by chance?
It's possible. You're gonna have to check that for yourself. The other,
Okay, well,
so this is again a hidden gem variant, which really
Oh.
means that Marvel's just reusing old artwork. This is another one that comes out this week. It's for X Force. It's 1 in 100. It's Todd McFarlane, and it also seems to be selling pretty well. And I
Yeah,
guess
dude,
that's
you have to pick the worst fucking Todd McFarlane art ever. Jesus
well, they
Christ.
keep
they don't
taking
have much
interior artwork.
left.
And
That's
if
a
you
good point.
notice, CGC today on their social media posted a CGC 98 Spider-Man Todd McFarlane sketch, like a sketch
Okay.
cover,
Yeah.
and on it he wrote "not for commercial use" in the top right
Oh,
corner, which I thought was
I've
really
seen that one
comical.
before. I've seen that
But
one.
it was just like, oh, so now you have to write that because otherwise Marvel is just going to screw you again. That's amazing.
Oh, it's dark.
So
Well, that's kind of
Wait a
like
second, that was a sketch cover?
this wasn't, but he again
Yeah, I was
he
gonna
has.
say,
A
I
sketch
remember
cover
that art
that
from like
it's a
I don't know,
perfect sketch
fucking
cover.
90s.
It
Nice.
it looks like a cover, and then he wrote "not for commercial use." So the
I
fact
think
that
this was trading cards art or something.
I think that's accurate.
could be. The other book is this one. This is Spider-Man and Venom Double Trouble. It's the first all kids Marvel book that isn't published by IDW of recent memory.
You know, what's that, the ratio?
Yeah, this is the 1 in 50 by
Who the hell is ordering 50 copies of a
I don't know,
kid's
dude,
comic
but
book?
if I was smart enough, I would have. That's fucking
by
a
Jen-
sharp book.
by Jen Bartel. Again, they didn't release the artwork until you couldn't order any copies anymore, right? So I don't know. I just like the cover, and
Yeah, it's a win. No, if I could
It
pick
is
that
cool.
up. What's that sucker going for?
I can't remember. I don't think it was real. I think it was just above ratio, but I think it might be more now because I don't think it was like I wrote my post on Sunday, so I'm not sure where it's at now.
I mean, it's not fucking revolutionary, but it's
Right.
pretty sweet.
It's fun.
Yeah,
Is there a Granoff 1 in 50?
No, this is the 1 in 50. It's a kid's book. They're not gonna have a Granoff one.
I don't fucking know. I'm just reading the live chat.
But I like this because it's Jen Bartel and most of hers
You
they
got
do
a
her,
sweet-
she does the regular well no most of hers she does the regular cover and then the 1 in 50 is hers.
Just a virgin, right?
Yeah, but they didn't do that this time. They did a completely different thing, and that's why I liked it. So I don't know, man.
Okay.
The other book that I really like is this week comes out The Addams Family. It's this one shot called Bodies Bags. It's the
Body bags.
Yeah, isn't that what it is? Or it's the Bodies issue, and
Body bags. Shout out, Nick.
so the Addams Family was they recently did a new movie that came out I guess last month. I think Snoop Dogg's in it and a few other people, and this is the first comic book of that universe, so it's a continuation of the movie, and there's a 1 in 10 variant which you can see on the right there, and I don't know how many stores would have ordered 10 copies of this, so I think that's a good find if you can find it. And online there's only 2 that have sold. One is sold at $15 and one right now is at a live auction. It still has 15 hours left and it's at $15. So I think that's a good book to look for, but who knows? I didn't find any, but I think that's a good book to look for. And I think that's it for our Wednesday ordering.
Yeah.
See, like you can always find books that are selling well and that look cool for a week, but this week really is tough because it's just a movie book that everybody speculated on and everything else is kind of garbage. I mean, just like high-end ratio variants. It's like, who cares about high-end ratio variants? That's not Wednesday warrioring. But I don't know. That's just my opinion on the
Yeah, that Undiscovered Country, there's like 10 store variants for it. I mean, I wouldn't touch that thing.
You said 10?
Something ridiculous like that. I think there's at
There's
least
a lot,
7.
dude.
You
There's
think-
a fucking
you think
bro.
10?
There's a
I think
Comic Com variant.
I
for
think there
Christ's
might
sake.
be
like everybody's getting it.
50 copies or 50 store variants.
Yeah.
So I
Could
mean,
be.
I saw
Sounds-
John Gallagher has one.
Yeah, that one looks pretty cool, actually. I just wonder what he took the pictures from.
Apparently, they're all damaged or something. They all have like a print error on them. They all have, like a purple mark on the cover. But
I like
yeah.
that.
Oh.
I don't know, man. Nico,
Okay.
I don't
What's
know
up,
if
buddy?
you know this, but it's time for you to go on your little adventure of Nikko Time.
Oh shit.
Hey.
I need to get like a graphic made or something, or I can just keep using this picture of you. I'm going to keep using this picture of you until somebody just sends me a graphic. Nobody's going to send me a graphic, so
Yeah.
you ready though?
Not really. Remember, I never bothered to pull up the outline.
We don't talk about that.
Oh. Well, fuck, it happens. Nope, that's not the outline. Let's see here.
Okay, I'll just
The picture's up on the screen. Batman
yeah.
Adventures 12.
Right, but we're gonna have to know the
Okay,
price
so
tag.
this is the
Books
Batman
down.
Adventures 12 CGC 98
Yeah.
direct market that sold for $16.24 this week.
That is
Yeah.
pretty down.
Do you remember when everybody and their brother was butthurt that I suggested not, under any circumstances, buying Harley Quinn books?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, well, we got all kinds of negative feedback on the weekend update, and I was like, take it slow. The only one that I liked then, which you still can't find anywhere, are newsstand 9/8s. They've literally turned into ghosts. There hasn't been one listed we're closing in on a year and a half on eBay.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, huh? Anyway,
Yeah.
but we've seen GPA just be down, down, down. I think we're getting closer and closer to the time where it may be smart to buy back in. Look for those cracking and pressing opportunities. Books like this are hard to find raw and high grade condition for a reasonable price. But there's a ton of copies out there that you can potentially get a bump on from a crack and repress, and the prices are low, low, low. No one has faith in the new film. So if you're looking to try to get in on a longer term play, we're getting closer and closer to that time.
Unleash the Kraken.
What about DC Uni BA12?
Doesn't exist.
Oh.
He was talking about a DC Universe label, Batman Adventures 12.
Fuck, I don't think that's a thing, but if it is, then I would love to see one.
Oh, okay.
No,
yeah, I'm not aware. It's never made any list.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
that would be
The
sweet.
next book is an
Scotch
Eternals.
tape it.
The next book is an Eternals 1 CGC 9/8 that sold for $990.50.
Down goes the price of this book. If you noticed, there was like a bomb scare on the set of Eternals.
I read that. I read that Martin Scorsese was really trying to get back at Marvel.
I not read that.
I don't think the two are related.
Yeah,
well, that was the exact thing I read. I read that he was really upset. And
Jesus, man, why would you say that?
What? That's what I read. I thought it was
really.
You
can't say that.
Somebody posted.
Jimmy's judgment proof, but I worry because I'm on the fucking podcast. I'm going to get a joint venture.
No, somebody posted set pictures of what it looks like, and they were like about 300 meters back, and they had like a zoom in lens, and the response was like, "That's what happens when Martin Scorsese sends." I just thought that was funny. Like,
that's definitely a good joke. All right, so here's kind of the question.
What?
There was a bomb threat on set of the Eternals today.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means, but like when I say bomb threat, they just mysteriously, randomly found a bomb, is what I heard.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, how do we detonate this? What's going on? Call the authorities. So it wasn't a full cast, but Richard Marsden, I think that's his name.
Hopefully it was just a prop or something that went wrong. I don't know.
One of the Celestials could have just ate it.
Angelina Jolie were both there.
It's weird, and I don't understand it, but whatever. I mean, who's that mad at Disney right now?
That is pretty funny. Yeah, right.
I don't know. It's just weird.
So.
Yeah. So kind of the issue with Eternals 1, again, books down. What's MIA is the 30-cent price variant. You're not seeing those books even come to market.
Oh, I probably should have bought the ones I saw.
There's no question about it. People are holding them, but they're out there. If you're looking for a 9/8, now might be, again, time to buy. These key books are dirt cheap compared to where they were just 30, 60, 90, 120 days ago. And none of this stuff is like, none of it's like a new spec or like a surprise.
So do you think this has the potential to go up to what, like 1,500 when a trailer drops?
Absolutely. I mean, in and out.
I should look and see how many have been subbed over the past 6 months.
Well, I mean,
It's a high census.
depending on how good the movie is, it could have room to grow because they could do more, right? It could be a franchise.
Absolutely.
They could, but they never. The books never go up in value on the second movie.
You're right, but I guess it depends how it's received. I don't know because this is a game changer when you look at who the actors are. I mean, Brie Larson, sure, she had an Oscar before she was cast, but we have effing Angelina Jolie on this one, so I don't know. That's just where I'm at with it.
Well, and Eternals 5 again is down too. All these Eternals books are increasingly cheap. People have just been dumping them. I think there's a lot of guys who pick these books up dirt cheap, have been holding on to them, and now are starting to get cold feet and are unleashing their copies. And it'll be interesting to see who's holding them when the trailer does drop and how many actually come to market then. Whether or not there'll be an onslaught of books or not. But it's definitely one to watch. Here's another one that's interesting, right? Down again.
Captain Marvel 17-second print, and the price was $17.75.
No. $12.75.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
$12.75.
What was the high on this? Like $2,000?
Book
or a
used
little
to be
bit more.
It used to be real expensive, and it's been a downward spiral for it.
Which is weird because now she actually is coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I don't think this is a book that people shied away on getting graded if they had one. Like Eternals 1, people had tons of those for a long time. Just raw.
I sold 4 raw in Baltimore.
Yeah. Did you really?
Absolutely.
But like this book, people would get graded if they had it and had a shot at 9.8 because of how much they were going for. It was at least $2,000 at times.
Yeah.
So that's a big drop. And like Jimmy said, she does. I mean, it's moving forward. We're going to talk about later that stuff is moving forward still. So it's kind of odd.
Next one was what else you got on this?
Yeah, no. On to the next one.
Next one was Marvel Special Edition 15 CGC 9.8, which sold for $3,100 and $3,100 in a live auction.
Yeah, so that's a big boy. All of these results have been live auction results. You don't see the 9.8s come to market. What was interesting is that there was a I'm going to screw this up. Well, there was a CGC 9.
Okay.
Hold on. 2.
Well, is this the image that was of the auction?
I don't think so.
Oh, because it has the
CVA.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, you ready? There was a CGC 9.2 that ended that same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do you think it sold for?
$1,623.
$590.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a black cover, so it's just a tough 9.8.
Well, but they're super tough 9.8s. This book has seen profound growth, right? But what we're noticing is that the 9.4s, the 9.2s, the 9.0s, the 8.5s, the 8.0s are all coming down. It's kind of always been the trend that, the 9.6s and 9.8s, and we're seeing it with Tomb of Dracula 10, books like this, Marvel Special Edition 15, they experience the exponential growth. And then what I would consider high grade copies, but the lower grade high grade copies are all starting to come back down, and widening that gap as we move further and further away from the film. So if you can get in early,
you think that's it? Or you think it's just the SDCC lull that we're in
absolutely.
Now?
And I just wonder how long it's going to last, whether or not people are going to scoop them up for dirt cheap, or whether they're just going to continue to plunder. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. The other one was this Avengers 48 CGC 9.6 that sold for $32.50.
That's Avengers 47. That picture.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just so we're aware. 48 is a different cover. It's
the white cover.
The horsey cover.
Yeah. Oh, that's just going by the outline.
That's what I'm looking at. I mean, I had to find these images myself. I don't know if you know that. And
you did good. I don't.
I got all of them except that one, so I'm sorry.
You did
I got
good,
the wrong one.
You did good, but so a 9.6, right, of the first appearance of the Black Knight,
In
the
Marvel.
hero in Marvel, not the Atlas Black Knight, but the Kit Harington, sells for $3,200. Exponential growth.
3250.
Yeah, exponential growth at the top.
Jeez.
Right.
3250 for a 9.6.
For a 9.6.
I would rather have the Marvel Special Edition 9.8 for
All day.
3,100.
Absolutely. Yeah, you and me
That's
both.
weird.
Even though it's a Silver Age book, but who knows? If
I'll
we
tell you
see the
what.
Black Knight take off and become kind of like a staple in the Marvel universe, and all of a sudden they're doing this, fucking knights and horses and whatever kind of like world, which theoretically they could do. You know what I mean? It's like Game of Thrones, only softer and gentler.
I do think
Jon
that
Snow,
casting,
only softer and gentler.
That casting does mean a good bit, I think, to comic book values, as you can see with that. I would have thought, if you've been watching the Black Knight books, he has two mini-series books. One from like the 90s, 4 issues, and then there's the more contemporary series that's 5 issues. And those still actually sell for decent prices. 25 to $35 is pretty easy to get for either one of those series. And I think that shows a lot more that now that we're in that lull, the SDC, where we just went through all these books that have come back down, those books are still hanging on. I mean, maybe, and look at that result on that. Maybe that's the character that's really
people are
crossing.
behind Black Knight, like the fans are behind Black Knight, or people in the know are behind Black Knight and they're paying money for books. I don't know if it's a combination
you got those
of
Game
both.
of Thrones people. Game of Thrones and the casting,
the crossover. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. If you recall the eBay trending, right? Like,
yeah.
That
Top
it was
items
Black
on
Knight
eBay.
and not Moon Knight.
Yeah,
will forever boggle my mind.
Yeah, like, does anybody even know what Black Knight is, what he does, anything about him? I mean,
dude, he was a joke. He was like a running joke when I was a little kid. He was just kind of like, who's that character? Meh.
Yeah. He's just riding a horse. I mean, I didn't know anything about him until, So, yeah, that's good.
Strong.
Interesting results there, Nico.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, I'm done.
That was it?
I mean, I think there's like one last book, but we don't really have to talk about it.
Oh, there is. There is one more. I would like to hear about this book.
Yeah, let's talk about that last book.
Okay.
If I can find it. Where are we at? I'm sorry, guys. Where are we at here? This one.
Oh. Okay.
I need the figures, though, because I don't remember them, and I apologize.
Oh, really? Well, let me tell you that Tales of Suspense 39, CGC 30. And now this doesn't sound like a lot, honestly. It sounds kind of cheap.
No, it's dirt cheap.
6,545
for the first appearance Iron Man. Now, I say that's dirt cheap. Before Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man, yeah, that was it was a different story. But here's kind of the thing I'm thinking about with a book like this, right? There aren't many people that have it on their saved searches, right? Iron Man's done in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a hot minute. I think that I saw a total of 1 copy of this book in Baltimore. It's a hard book. It's a cool book. And, as opposed to the other books that we discussed, all of which are super hot, everybody's paying attention to them. This is kind of like the classic rare Silver Age pick that, like Hulk 1, I think stands the test of time, and is really, I want to keep the pimping strong. Thanks. I think you want to look for an opportunity to purchase if you can sneak one, right? Like those big books that aren't getting new buyers and new money after. Sure, you're going to have to compete with the big boys in the auction, so don't look for like a major departure from GPA. But if you can get a 25% tip downward, that's a long-term play that I really think our listeners and our readers should be thinking about if they're going to drop big money on an investment quality book. I'm
Could
done.
be, could be, could be.
I would
I
like
mean,
to own that
you
book.
never know, right?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to own that book at that price range too. Like that would be a hell of a buy.
Yeah. Puts things
Yeah.
into perspective. Yes. So,
Yes, you see, we already
let's
talked
talk
about
the.
this.
What did we though?
Yeah,
Okay,
Jimmy
well-
hates it. I think it's gonna win an Emmy, and I think the joke is exceptional.
Oh, okay. Moving on. We have a green screen here that Jimmy will be modifying, and
I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this thing. I can't figure it out. I'm sorry.
it sounds
What's
like
going on
there's
here?
some volume. There sounds like there's
Oh,
something
that's not
playing.
me. That's not from me.
Oh,
No. So you guys want to talk about The Witcher? What's going on with The Witcher? So this is a TV series? I thought this was a movie.
yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's what you say.
Well, no, you wrote here that The Witcher trailer was released. We talked about this on July 2nd, episode 9th. The price
We
then
did.
for the IDW Witcher 1 was around $15 to $40.
I did IDW. It's Dark Horse.
Oh. Okay. Go
Yeah.
on.
So, I just checked before the podcast. It surprisingly did not go up at all. I thought it looked pretty good. Did you guys see the trailer by chance?
Didn't watch it. I do have a Witcher 1 somewhere I pulled out of a dollar bin I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
pulled.
I even took that to Baltimore. Nobody bought it. I think I had 20 bucks on it.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm-
for 20 bucks, I'm like, eh.
I'm not
It's
big on
surprisingly
these,
that's what it's selling for. Go on.
I'm not big
What?
on these video
Independent
games.
stories.
No,
Oh.
video game movies. So I did not watch the trailer. I keep seeing people talk about this one though. So it seems like there's a lot of people excited about it. Because
thought
guess
it looked good.
The Witcher is a pretty big property, but again, and again they have Henry Cavill, right? The
Yeah.
Superman on it. So it seems
Yep.
big, but I just thought it was interesting what I saw you write that it was supposed to be a TV series, and they have like 7 seasons already set to go.
I liked how Jimmy fancied up Henry Cavill's name.
Is it
Cavill.
Henry? Is that's
I
his
say
name, though,
Cavill.
right?
I say Cavill.
Yeah, I just forgot how to say his name. Sorry.
Oh,
No,
that's
you
what I
fancied
say.
it up. You gussied it up. I
Nico
like
said Cavill. No, I thought the trailer looked really good. And one thing I did notice when I was looking up the prices for the first series today is that they've made 2 other comic book series, and both of those number ones are selling for more than I think they should, because
people just
usually
don't know.
you just want, usually you just want the first series. But I saw a couple selling for over $10. I would think those could be found for $1 if you can find them.
They're Dark Horse.
Yeah. Dark Horse is who made the comic book series, and I think the first series might be 3 issues, might be more,
I think it was
but
3,
not many
3.
more if it
It
is.
was a 3 miniseries. And then
Maybe
what?
5.
Uncharted starts filming this summer. Is it?
No, February it starts filming. This was announced a while ago.
Is that the variant?
No, that's the regular cover.
And
that's,
Uncharted was another video game, right?
Another video game property that was very popular, and they're making it into a movie.
The variant's the one you want, right?
Honestly, this one sells for $40 now.
Wow.
This is a 5-issue series, I believe, 5 or 6, and they're very hard to find. I went to a store out of state over the summer, and I found they had a ton of back issues that really people don't really go through very often. I was mad I didn't live closer to this place, but I found 3 copies of Witcher in it, and they had. So I was like, "Oh, I'm right here. Let me check for Uncharted." They had like 3, 4, and 5, but they didn't have any number 1s, which I was kind of surprised. Like, if you knew to pull Uncharted, I would think you would pull a Witcher too. But
Uncharted was one of the New 52 titles, and I think it was like towards the end of the run of the New 52 titles, so I don't think it was heavily ordered.
I don't think
nice.
Still, I don't think people the video game comics are niche market.
Completely. Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
who did the Uncharted variant? Is it Hughes
Adam
or
Hughes. Yeah,
okay?
I think do we have an image of it,
No.
Mr.
No.
Lamborghini?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that one. Both those books,
What's the
number
variant
ones,
sell
are
for?
very hard to find. At least 100.
Okay, that's
You might
less
be
than I
able to.
thought it sold for.
You might be able to squeeze 200 out of it if
Is
it's
that Bill
a high
Cosby on
grade.
the right though, smoking a cigar?
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, it
dun,
looks like
dun.
That's not.
Cosby.
It's a different show.
Maybe it's a low resolution image. I can't. Whatever. My point is,
Would you like some jello pudding?
this seems to be
That
the
was
book that you guys kept.
terrible.
This seems to be the book that you guys kept messaging me about today.
Yeah, I didn't
V-Wars.
buy those books. Remember, I was gonna buy them. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's all
I
angry
have a
about them.
bunch in my show bins. Like nobody cares about V-Wars.
Nobody cares about it. I don't think people realize that it's coming.
I just
I'm
like to
pretty
have one of
sure-
everything
Pretty sure we talked about this a long time ago. I think.
or 10 of everything.
I
It's
mean,
not like I'd ever
it's-
sell them.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
That's
You
the
would get
fucking
these
problem.
at a good price, and then you would forget to sell them.
Basically.
What do you think of this image of the show here on the right?
I mean, it looks
Does that-
interesting.
Does that look good or not? I can't figure it out. If it looks,
I don't know. I'm like you, dude. I was like,
I'm not sure if that looks.
maybe
like it.
not. I don't know.
So the main actor was on Vampire Diaries, so I think it'll have a following.
Oh, that's
but
problematic.
What is
I just
vampire?
don't know if this comic will pick up at all.
Well, it better.
Yeah, I have a few copies I would like to sell as well. Now, I did read this when it first came out, and I thought it was fairly decent, actually. It's written by Jonathan Mayberry, and Ryan Brown did the covers for this. Ryan Brown is now doing Marvel covers that are pretty awesome. But this was some of his early work.
And
then
this is
there's
the 1 in 25 or something.
no, it's like a super rare variant. I don't know. I never really got a good source for what the ratios on these were. Some will say 1 to 50, some say 1 to 100. So there's two that look like this. I think the cover's terrible, but they're high ratio variants. This is the higher one where it has these bones coming through the skin. There's one that's a lower ratio that looks the same, but it doesn't have the bones coming through the skin like that. And I've had this book when it got announced a long time ago that they were doing the show. It's got a good actor attached to it. I put it on my eBay watch list, and I never saw these variants come up for less than 50. So they're not selling, I don't think, but maybe once we get a trailer. So the show actually comes out in a month on Netflix. So I don't know why they aren't promoting it.
Well, I don't.
Seems
Do they
so
promote
odd.
anything that goes on Netflix? I mean, except like they didn't even promote Bird.
Yeah,
Bird
remember
one,
all
right?
of the Marvel shows? Like they always had trailers, even if it was just a
Yeah, but they were
teaser
all like
trailer.
YouTube trailers, right?
They were like teaser trailers where they didn't really.
I think we'll see a trailer like in the next few weeks, but at the same point,
I would
think,
hope so.
I don't think. I think it's just going to be added content, and they don't really need to promote it that much. I guess that's the way I would look at it. I don't know.
I would think they put some money into it though, buying the property and actor. Maybe not though. Yeah. So what's next, Miss Marvel?
Yeah. So what's going on with Miss Marvel? This is what, Miss Marvel 5?
Yeah. If you remember back, let's go back a little bit on the podcast here. We're gonna go back to maybe around. I didn't write it down. There it is, number 21. So a month and a half ago or so, we talked about characters that could maybe show up in the TV show. She doesn't really have many enemies in the comic book, but this was pretty much the only one we talked about because it's the only thing that's somewhat intriguing. This is the Inventor is the character shown here. His name's Gregory Knox. First appearance is Miss Marvel number 5 from the first Kamala Khan series. He tried to clone Thomas Edison and ended up making this pigeon character called the Inventor, I believe is what he was. Yes,
Yeah.
it's called the Inventor. So he's a clone of Thomas Edison, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah. So we talked about this about 6 weeks ago. It looks like they may be casting currently for that character for the show. So sometimes we have some good information on this podcast. All that revolves strictly out of speculation from reading comic books. And you don't know what the content is unless you don't read them.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know we talked about the Secret Wars second print, I think a week or two ago, and I see that's now on everybody's radar. So who knows?
Yeah,
Who
sometimes
knows what's going on?
Yeah,
sometimes we talk about good stuff.
Can I clarify something?
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think our sarcasm, mine specifically, is a little too thick, and
okay.
I may have.
Well, what I was trying to say, is I had some good spec on that bird character.
Yeah, no, that was definitely fucking solid spec. I would like to talk about something earlier in the show because I got kind of a message that was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you talking about?" The result for the Tales of Suspense 39 or whatever,
yeah,
is like 20% higher than fucking GPA, not 20% lower than GPA. I was kind of making a joke about that.
Backtracker. I got to backtrack to this. So it's selling. It's high. It's selling high.
Fucking super high, right? Which doesn't make sense.
I thought it was
under the
low.
circumstances. No, it was like profoundly fucking high.
We were
you
talking
can
about
buy
how
it now for that amount of money.
Wow, your tune certainly changed over the last 10 minutes. 10, 15 slides.
Nevertheless, the point
was a serious text you got about that book.
Well, apparently I misled you too.
I didn't look at prices. I just assumed it sounded like a good price.
No. No, dude, it's a fucking 3-0. But you can buy it now 3-0s for fucking like $5K, $6K.
Oh. So yeah, how did that sell for $6,500?
Because it's a Canadian auction. That was kind of like I had a Canadian book on here too.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
Huh?
I think it was a jab at you.
Yeah, that's
nah, dude. People pay top dollar for fucking books out of Canada. I don't really know. There's like mad loot up there, mad comic loot too, and mad comic fans. Look at all the people that watch Comic Book Jim. You think they fucking watch him in fucking Harlem or like Miami, or you think he's got fans in Las Vegas? No, those are you fucking Canadians. You guys are solid on your comics, and you've been watching.
Like the population of like one of those states. I don't know which one.
You think he's got a big fucking following in Los Angeles?
So a book we talked about on the website, comicbookspeculation.com, was this Last God slipcase variant that they produced. It has
somebody got really mad that you called it a variant and not a slipcase. I remember that. They were very sad.
Where did you read that?
I read it somewhere. I don't know.
So it just goes over top of the regular comic?
I think so. I don't know. It could be a cover. I'm not sure, honestly.
Will CGC remove it when you slab it? Because that's really like the important part.
Will.
I want the wax back, please.
That's fucking brutal, dude.
I don't know. But anyways, they're handmade by DC, and they were given out to members of the press and members within DC. So I don't think any copies will go for sale, but they did send one to Brian Bendis, which is the image that should show up right now. But
there it is.
Still
What's in the background? You just can't see it. It's blue.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know what's going on with the slideshow today, honestly.
It's not a big deal. You're doing good.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
well,
that's all I really had to say about that. I just thought that was a cool variant, I guess. So
yeah.
Unless they fucking won't slab it like that, dude.
No, I mean, gonna slab that.
Yeah, not everything gets slabbed, unfortunately, and I don't know. That's just the way it is.
Well, kind of
because it's probably if it's just like a slipcover, it's not attached to the book, so they would take it all off.
That's what I think too, and I think that's what makes it problematic in the long term. But definitely cool. Certainly, a great idea.
Cool.
Jimmy's shaking his head at me. I think he hates me.
This is Bloodshot #2 from the new series.
Oh, it's a great picture.
Is it a great picture?
It's also a blue cover. It's fading into the background. You can't see it really. Do you have the decoder glasses, Nico?
Yeah.
You should have got them in your care package this week.
Yeah, Jimmy always sends me books because people send us free books.
People send us free books.
That. No, nobody's ever done that.
First of all, I don't know what's going on right now,
but I keep about that because
I keep apparently just zoning out and not understanding what's happening. So I mean, we'll figure it out, I guess.
If you have if you have the 3D glasses from the Miracle Man 3D issue, they will work and show the video that we showed earlier, as well
Bloodshot
as
2. So
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot 2 is sold out at the distribution level. I don't know how many Valiant titles sell out at the distribution level. It just seems weird. This book features the first appearance of Dalion, a new female villain. It's the first full appearance. She does appear in the first book, but she appears in a flashback. This is an image of it. It's this character right here. So I don't know what's going on with this. I just think it's weird. Also, at New York Comic Con, Valiant gave out an Ashcan preview of Bloodshot 2, which I think is even more weird that they wouldn't just do issue 1. They did a preview of issue 2. So I think that this might be a good book to be looking for just based on that alone. I don't know what this character is, where it's coming from, but I think that this character did appear in issue 1. It's in a flashback. She doesn't talk at all in it. And I don't know. And the print run is really high for number 1 because they had this carbon fiber variant, which was a 250 ratio. So there's a lot of store variants just to get this. And that seems to be the book that propped up the print runs of issue 1. Issue 2 didn't have this. Again, it had this advanced preview book. So I think it's a good book to be looking for. That was my whole spiel on Bloodshot 2.
Remember last week I brought up that Roku first issue came out? It's written by Cullen Bunn, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I read that. The art in it was terrible. Valiant usually has good artists, and the story was okay. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, but man, the art was terrible. I would not recommend picking that series up.
It's no good, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that's all we had though for this week. Am I wrong? Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Nova, movie news keeps coming out that Nova is actively in development.
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck is with the dickhead that is our tipster? Like,
do you ever feel like
he's announced that 14 times? I'm like,
do you ever feel like
it's being considered for development, and then it's moving into the development phase, and
I don't know.
It's an active development now.
I'm looking forward to getting my Nova 1 back from my presser so that I can slab it, so that I can sell it, and fucking be done with all Nova books.
So that probably means they're going to hire a screenwriter to do a script for it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to read that Annihilation trade paperback. I can't get behind Nova. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't do it for me. Dick Ryder. I think it's the fucking name. I'm just like, what? It's not me.
Wait, his name's Dick Ryder?
Richard Ryder.
That's what they call him, though. No, you fucking people will be like, the comic book will be like, dude, you gotta watch. Yeah, that Dick Ryder, man. That's a great character, and it doesn't speak to me in the same way that other things do. It's not to say that it couldn't speak to other members of the community, but I don't know. I have to read the Annihilation
Baltimore. Was this how the people were asking for the comic to you?
Yeah, I sold 2 in Baltimore.
Did they give you the?
They gave me that speech, dude.
Did they give you the double handshake? Hey, you got any of that?
Were you like? Were they?
Dick Ryder.
They give you the, and then the one on top, and you're just like, let go of my hand.
Yeah,
and then they sneezed on me.
Right up your nostrils.
Jeez, man, it's too much. It was all too much. I want to put together a list of X-Men books, because apparently every time there's a new series, a book pops. It's just like the most ridiculous thing. I tried to do it once on a prior weekend update. There's just so many, but that stuff, a lot of it is just so cheap right now. For example,
talking like old X-Men stuff?
I mean, like
or gold balls.
No, definitely not like gold balls. I'm thinking like, how many copies of the first appearance of Bishop can I buy for $10 until I have a short box?
At least 20.
Yeah, right.
If you're not getting for 50 cents a piece, you're paying too much.
But I mean, like, I think there's opportunities there. So that's something I kind of been thinking about.
Yeah.
Jimmy looks like he's jerking off in the corner there.
What are you doing?
Yeah, there's a lot.
What are you going on? This is very rude. You guys are very rude. I will tell you that.
My buddy,
again,
he's a good man.
I think that's all we have for this week. I will remind you guys to check out our new video series, the top 10 comics, modern comics, or top 100 comics of value. It's what, like a 5-part series? I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a
dude.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't be talking about it now because there's like what 600 people that have watched it. 2 thumbs down. I feel like if you fucking
well, the
talk
first
about it
part
on the
went
regular
the first
podcast,
part
our
went last
general
week,
trolls are
and
going to
then
be
we have
fucking.
we have another one, and
Be
I
coming
don't know.
out
I don't
Friday.
know. I don't know why you give people ideas. Honestly, I don't know
fucking
what's
love
wrong
it,
with
dude.
you. But
Makes me so excited.
it
Friday
shouldn't.
night.
Fuck, I want to
Friday
take my
night.
tie off. I'm
We
so
should-
goddamn excited.
We should have
Jesus.
another one coming out on Friday. But yeah, keep it posted on the Facebook and on YouTube. Just subscribe, and you'll get notifications for that stuff.
You can't stop Sleepy's heat.
Okay, cool. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks again. Bye now.
We're still live. Jimmy's gone. I fucking
So
love it.
he left.
Yeah.
He left and
We should stay
all
on.
right. Now it's our podcast. So you really like the Watchmen TV show, and
I
some
did,
people on
dude.
the podcast
It was so
didn't.
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
it was so good.